morning everyone. It's time to decorate the Christmas cake, it is. I'm really excited and really nervous all in one. So far what I've done is I've disinfected my whole, this is my draining board because it's cut into my quartz surface. So I've disinfected it all, I've disinfected my pastry rolling mat and dried all that off. So now what we're going to do, first of all, is we need a gluing agent, which is our apricot jam. So that's our gluing agent. So I need to make it really stick it. So I'm going to put a little bit in a mug in the microwave to make glue. That sounds really crazy, but you'll see what I mean. So let's get an old mug. Everything's to the sides of my kitchen, so I'm going to keep going back and forth as I did last time. So this is going to be our glue to stick our marzipan and our icing to our cake. So jam is sticky, but when you make it hot, it acts more like a glue substance. So what I'm going to do now is put that in the microwave. I'm just going to put it in for 30 seconds just to warm it up. Test it, see if it's the consistency I want. Best thing to use is your pastry brush so you can do it on. Now first of all, I'm actually going to put glue on this pastry board because I've got to roll out the marzipan. I didn't buy the ready rolled out stuff. So I've got to make this stick resistant. So I am going to be gluing literally some parchment paper or non-stick paper so I can roll it. Now I didn't buy any icing sugar, so I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do the rolling. You think I'm an expert cook? So we'll figure it out. I think I'm going to need to put that in for a little bit longer. It's not quite at the consistency I want, the jam. But don't cook it too much, because if you cook it too much it's going to burn, and you don't burn jam. So see, it's like a nice watery gloopy. So that's what I want. And because that's really hot, I'm going to put it on a heat mat. So, first thing, we're going to glue our board. I know this sounds daft, but you want this paper to stick so you can actually roll out your marzipan and icing sugar. Now for anyone who's not looked, if you open up my original very tipsy Christmas cake, there's the Mary Berry recipe there, and she shows you how to make icing sugar. Now that isn't anything I make, I buy it. But I do appreciate if you're in America, they might not have the same icing sugar that we have, but check it out. So that one, I need to put a bit on this. See, the kids would love helping do this, wouldn't they? If you've got any sort of teenagers, I wouldn't let maybe the little ones, because you might get in a bit of a mess. But you might like that. There you go. So my paper is now glued down, but it's glued down with jam, not with glue. So if any comes through, it really doesn't matter. So then, I don't know how many of these I'm going to need, so I'm going to see how far one rolls out. And it's just a block of marzipan. So I've got a wooden rolling pin. So I don't know how this is going to go. I'm going to maybe have to try and put some greaseproof paper around it. I don't know yet. This, I think I'm going to need to do the two, because that's not going to roll out as far as I need it, because it's a big square cake. Now if you do use a square cake tin, you could cut it in half. I've cut mine in half before now, or even into 3, and given them as gifts. But this year I feel so excited that I've made him one. He wants it all, so sure this isn't a technique, but I tell you what, doesn't I feel good? I'm just trying to bash it out so that it makes it a bit easier to roll. You want it nice and thin, and hopefully these two will join without much effort. And marzipan, it's quite a different sort of taste. It's not really something I enjoy, but it's always part of a very traditional Christmas cake, so and the great thing is, because we're going to put a layer of icing on the top, if you have to do a patch job underneath, it doesn't matter because no one will see unless they watch this video. So we won't tell them. It'll be our secret. Oh, I'm trying desperately not to get my face in the video today. You know, one of them days where I was up till 2:30 last night editing for my other channel. And yes, I got up late today, much to Savannah's disgust. And you know, when you can't be bothered to put any makeup on, even though we are going out tonight to see the new Star Wars movie. So I'll have to do something later, but I want to get this done. I want to record a plan with me, which thankfully I just need to put some hand cream on, don't I? And then job's good. So yeah, now, if you want to know the size of your cake, you can just keep guessing, or you can get if you've got a removable base, you can put your base on to see how much bigger you need to go. But I know I need it deeper. You can sometimes just tell by looking. Whoops! It's our first little accident there. It's like a sugary paste. And I think marzipan is actually used in making, you know, like little individual chocolates. So yeah, you can do all sorts of things with it. Oops. Starting to tear. So it's a bit thicker in the middle here still. Maybe I should have taken my bracelet off. Luckily it hasn't gone in there, but there you go. I always put gloves on, but you never think of your bracelets, do you? Right. I think we're getting about to the point. Right, so let's get our cake. Now I do have one of these to help me move the cake about, otherwise it's going to break. So I have left this now for a week. I've fed it twice. Oh, it smells beautiful. Now it's already on your greaseproof paper, so I might not need to use this, but I want to use it to make it easier to put it into my cake tin when I've finished it. So now with this cake, obviously you don't need to put alcohol in it, and I just did it because it keeps it moist. So that's our cake. So the only problem with gluing it down is this now is incredibly sticky, but I can wash my hands, can't I? So when I go and flip it, do you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to put some jam under it, didn't I? See, we all get it wrong. Right, so let's stick a bit of jam on it now. I stuck jam everywhere else, but I didn't stick it on my cake, did I? See, best laid plans. And all this surface is clean, so and all you're going to do is paste this with jam, because it'll just keep it a bit moist as well. I can't believe I forgot. It's a good job it doesn't matter if this is pretty or not, because we're going to put a pretty surface on. Honestly, Karen, what a nana. So, oh, like a postman. So that bit's done, so that's okay. Whoops. And it doesn't matter if it's dripping, because we're going to put icing on top, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be pretty. So don't worry about that. And then I'm just going to turn this round and we'll do the other side. That's why it's always important to obviously make sure all your surfaces are nice and clean in case you mess up like I just did. Honestly. But no one will know. Right, so we'll put that on. We'll just repair the seams and patch it up and when we need a bit more we can stick a bit more on because this is nice and wet and pliable. You wouldn't see Mary Berry doing this, would you? I don't think she'd be patching up her marzipan. I think it'd be pretty much perfect. Need a bit more on this side. But it doesn't matter. So in relative terms, we probably only needed one lot of marzipan. But with having the 2 packets, it makes it so much easier. So I'm just going to trim it all. And if you've got one of them twirling cake bases to do this, all the better. Which obviously I don't have. So if you've got it on something raised, you can do this. If you put it straight into your cake tin, you're going to get a load of mess all over that straight away. So that's pretty much okay. Now I do have a pastry flattener smoother thing, so I'm going to get that so we can smooth it down a bit better. Right, so I know I've got one of those somewhere. I just wash my hands and my arms because I want to try and get it as flat as I can. Now some people leave this there and then put the icing on in a couple of days, but Bill keeps asking me for cake, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do it now. So clean gloves on, and now we're going to put some more jam all over it. So if you don't like apricot jam, you could use another jam, but I would stick to a citrusy one, so maybe some seedless marmalade, because that's orangey, isn't it? Or maybe a lemon curd, I don't know, but I would definitely use a citrus one. Strawberry, I think, would be too much, or raspberry. So yeah, I would tend to stick to a citrus one, especially if you actually put the citrus peel in the cake. But it's just to keep it all together. And don't throw this jam away when you finish, because if you're going to decorate it, some people don't, they just leave it completely plain. Mine is not going to be a work of art because I wasn't going to record this. It was just a cake to eat. So I have bought some things to stick on, and I will be using the jam to stick them. So it has many purposes. Right, so I just want to get rid of, even though it's all clean apart from the jam bits, I just want to get rid of any stickiness, because we're now going to be doing the icing. From memory, I don't think it's going to quite fit this cake, so I will have to do a patch job, but that's okay. But if you cut it smaller, so it had been like 2 loaf cakes, then you'd be fine, but you've got to always watch. But this is pre-rolled, one of my favourite things. And last year, well, the last time I made it, it must have been, I can't remember now, it was a couple of years ago, and I could get pre-rolled marzipan. But at least we got rid of a bit of frustration, didn't we? So let's open this. And this is what royal icing is. Can you see it's like It's like a paste. So that's what it looks like. So there's no way that is going to fit that, but it will go on the top, and then we'll just do the edges. Now if it is, oh, it might do. Isn't it easy though, just unrolling it? Oh, I mean, I know proper cooks will be going, oh, what have you done? I don't think I'm going to have to do much of a bodge job at all. And a lot of times people put the foil decoration down the cake, and I'll insert some photos at the end of a cake, the last one I made, and I bought all the trimmings and it was beautiful. And when you do that, it's like the centerpiece of your table, isn't it? Especially sort of on Christmas night or for Boxing Day or... Right, and then again, just to get it a bit smoother and look a bit more professional if possible. So I didn't need the second one after all. And you can stretch it a bit, which is all I've done at the sides, is stretch it. But if you put a foil around it, it will hide it. But you'll see with the foil, I put that in because that will be the prettier cake. This is more the how to do it. Right. So let's cut the excess off again. Maybe a sharper knife would have been better. Now I'm not going to throw this straight away because I might want to make some snowballs. So that's about as creative as I get. So I'm going to put that on top of that little white thing. I promised him today when he went out to work, I said, I promise you when you come home tonight, we'll go and see Star Wars and I'll make you some Christmas cake. And he said, oh yeah, he said, I can take it to work. I said, you can't because it's boozy. So yeah, so if you put a lot of rum or whiskey or whatever it is, don't forget to warn people in case they decide they're going to drive. So there you have your cake. Not bad if I say so myself. Now, I'm now going to put it onto my base. Now, ironically, I don't know if the base is big enough, so I might have to cover it before... Oh no, it fits, yay! So, it all fits on, how fabulous. Right. And not too much damage done at all. It's not bad, it's not perfect, but I never said I was a cake artist, did I? No, but that'll be delicious. Just a bit there, stretch that bit of icing. We'll just put a tiny bit more. So it's, as you can see, it's really, it's like dough. It's like a dough. That's the best way of describing it. It's like a dough. And of course, if you've got I don't know what they call it, doily or fancy border to go around, that would be perfect. But I haven't, so I have cheated. I have, and I don't care. I've got Santa. I have got snowmen. I've got elves, you name it, I have got it, because do you know what? Christmas is about having fun, isn't it? So I'm going to put Santa here. I did want to get a tree, but I've not had a chance to go out. Something to do with doing Vlogmas more or less on 2 channels. So this is just sugar paste. You can buy these ready-made. And exactly the same, all I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bit of jam on the base. So you don't want too much because you don't want it really coming through. You can press it in and you've got Santa. Just shall we see what we can do? So there you have it. It's a very plain Christmas cake, but if you put a lovely red border around the edge, that would make it so nice. So you don't have to go out and make things. You can buy things and put it on as well. So hope you've enjoyed that. Hope that was helpful. And just remember, if I can make a cake, and it's not the most beautiful in the world, anyone can. Anyone can. Have a wonderful Christmas, everyone. Speak to you soon, and don't forget, let's get happily planning.